time to set the field for the final race of the 2010 season. Welcome to qualifying for the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series 4200 on Speed. Homestead-Miami Speedway, it's 77 degrees here, mostly cloudy skies. So the sun won't be beating down on this mile-and-a-half racetrack this evening as the trucks are about to take to the track for their qualifying effort tonight. Hello everyone, Rick Allen, Phil Parsons, Michael Waltrip with you for the final qualifying show of the 2010 season. And it's going to be a little different tonight, Phil.
It is. Usually when you come to these racetracks, the bottom of the racetrack's the way to go, right? Well, obviously everyone knows that this race you can run anywhere on it. And for those truck guys that watch the Cup guys qualify, from the middle to the top of the racetrack, they're going to say, man, that's where the grip is. This racetrack is progressively banked. There's more banking at the top than there is the bottom. So that's where the speed is. That's where the grip is, right?
Right, exactly. And so I'm sitting on pit road in my truck. I'm all buckled in, and I'm like, I'm going to the top. That's where the Cup guys were. That's fast. Then you say, I don't have as much power as they have.
200 less.
Yeah, I got a lot less power. I'm going to take the shortest way around. That's it, done. Not going to worry about it anymore. Shortest way, that's me. You hear somebody go around the top track, and they say, on the pole, new truck running the high side. Then you're like, darn, maybe I should go to the top. Race car drivers are fragile mentally. You know, you're trying to figure out exactly what you want to do, and then you have all this different input and all these options. It's fun for us to watch, but as a driver getting ready to qualify, it's very frustrating.
And it may be confusing. To straighten it all out, we'll go down to Ray Dunlap.
Well, I'll try, Rick. You know, when we look at the 60 truck and the Safe Auto team, they've had two different drivers this year, Stacy Compton and Narain Karthikeyan. But their third different driver goes behind the wheel tonight, and that's young Cole Witt. This driver has shown a lot of promise, and I talked with Stacy Compton earlier today, and he said he believes this is the future of their team. He couldn't believe how quickly Cole got a handle on this racetrack. He'd never been on a track this big tonight, and Cole Witt will be our 43rd different driver to make their debut in the Camping World Trucks this season. Adam?
Ray, last weekend at Phoenix, ThorSport owned practice. It was Matt Crafton who was quickest in both the opening and the final practice session. ThorSport on top again this week, but it's Johnny Sauter carrying the torch, and it looks good so far. So what do you think for qualifying?
Yeah, I mean, last night we fired off. Our first lap on the racetrack was really fast, and for whatever reason, we were really loose last night, and but it was fast. So, you know, it's kind of hard to tell the guys that you want them to work on it when you're really fast. But and then today we fired off in practice and was a little bit tight. So not exactly sure where we're at, but it's been fast on sticker tires and taped up. So I don't know. We just got to go out there and make our best effort at it, see if we can't get our farmpaint.com curb record Chevy on the pole. And I don't know. We can race it from there, I think. But the race is a little bit of a mystery. I'm not exactly sure what this racetrack's going to do.
And I guess to add to that confusion, final practice this morning and you're racing tonight. How difficult is it to get it dialed in?
Yeah, it was kind of a bummer last night. We just got the racetrack to take a little bit of rubber, and then it rained for our second practice. So, you know, at least the one thing we had going for us is the practice was early enough that it was cool still. So it's a little bit more like what it'll be tonight. But as you've seen all day, the Cup cars, Nationwide cars, been on the racetrack all day. So track looks like it's a lot blacker to me, but. Nonetheless, all we can do is work on it. We were fast. We've got speed, obviously, and we just got to work on it all night and be solid and try to win the last race of the year.
Ray, Johnny Sauter quickest in practice, going for his first pole since Phoenix last year.
And Adam, the Gunbroker team has had a multitude of different manufacturers this year. Back in the Ford this week, Jason White, and you guys have had a lot of success with this truck. What's your expectations for tonight?
You know, I think if we can qualify about 12th, this thing will race really good. We finished 4th with this truck in Kentucky. Our worst finish in a Ford is 9th. I feel pretty excited about tonight's race. Being here at Homestead, I'm pretty excited about it.
Tell me about the challenges. It's early in the day now, but yet we'll be racing in the dark. How much will this track change?
A ton. During the day, or this morning when we practiced, the track was real loose getting in, tight up off, and I think tonight it's just going to tighten up a lot, and so I think this Ford F-150 is going to be pretty good tonight.
What kind of truck you going to run next year, do you know yet?
To be determined. We'll see what happens.
All right, we'll keep you posted. Jay White in the number 23 truck. Guys?
Trucks are all in line. That means the drivers are going to be heading to their trucks to get strapped in. We've got nationwide final practice at 6:30. Then the setup with Chris Devoda at 7:30. The Ford 200, the final event of the 2010 season at 8 o'clock. And it's all wrapped up with trackside at 10:30 p.m. this evening. First truck to take the track will be Norm Benning. The last one will be Johnny Sauter. Sauter fastest in practices last night and this morning, so he will be the final truck to take qualifying. Speed's presentation of NASCAR Camping World Truck Series qualifying from Homestead is brought to you by Camping World. Camping World, the official RV and outdoor retailer of NASCAR. We'd like to thank race fans for all your support. By FreeCreditScore.com. Get your score. And brought to you in high definition by Funai. Funai, fun and innovative. Experience more at FunaiAmerica.com. Final race of the 2010 season. We're about to get underway with qualifying from Homestead-Miami Speedway. And all the trucks are in line. And Ray Dunlap's standing by with, I think, a driver we saw in a pink fire suit earlier, Jennifer Jo Cobb.
Yeah, looking pretty good with her Lily Cosmetics outfit on. And we were talking earlier today about what an incredible season it's been. The highest finishing position for a female in NASCAR's top 3 divisions. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I had no idea, as I've said before, that we were out to break that record, but I'm just so grateful, and I want more. I want to get better. I want next year to be even better, and I'm so excited to be in a Lilly'sCosmetics.com Ford F-150 tonight and hopefully shatter the record for the highest finish in any given race.
What did your expectations for tonight? What can be realistic, Jennifer?
You know, this truck is the truck that had the 2 top 15 finishes at Darlington and Texas. I have fought to bring this truck back onto the mile-and-a-half programs because I just feel like it's a better truck. So I think a top 15 is realistic. We qualify, or I'm sorry, we practiced 24th quick, which is the quickest we have had in a final practice since Talladega. And we also saw at Talladega before we ran out of gas that we were up there in the top 10. So I think that that could be realistic. You know me, I always like to have high expectations, but just want to say thanks to God, my parents, everybody who made this season happen.
All right, congratulations. That is Jennifer Jo Cobb. Let's hear from David Starr. He's with Adam.
And Ray, David fits into that what a difference a day makes category. You left here last night feeling really good about your truck. This morning's session, not so good. So what's the balance for qualifying, David?
Well, our Zachary Toyota was really awesome last night, and 1 and 2 was awesome. I mean, I get in there deep, got out of the throttle just a little bit and got back to the gas, shot off turn 2, went into turn 3, and I got to the center of 3, and I was real tight. And so second practice got rained out last night, so we come in this morning, and the changes we made to correct the tightness off of 4 there, man, now we're tight over here getting into 1, just real tight, and 3 and 4 is a lot better, but we lost about 4/10, and so me and Jason Miller, the crew chief, we talked about it. We put the truck back to where we were when practice started yesterday. So interesting how it's evening time now, and the weather's the temperature's a lot cooler than it was this morning, but we'll see. My truck's really good last night. This morning it was terrible, so don't know what to expect here in qualifying, but all in all, I think we got a good truck for the race tonight.
A lot of teams hitting curveballs as we get set to put them on track here momentarily, guys.
And always a big smile on David Starr's face as we're finishing up the 2010 season. Norm Benning out onto the racetrack now. Phil, you mentioned we're not going to see guys hug that white line in qualifying. We more than likely won't see guys down there on that white line because of the progressive banking. It seems like they're able to carry more speed and keep that momentum up higher in the racetrack, about the second group.
Yeah, they're looking for grip. That's what it's all about. I was talking to Todd Bodine right after that practice today, and he said that racetrack doesn't know what grip means, whatever. He said, you just got to go out there and find it. So I think right now that the more grip or the faster grip is up there on the top because it's banked a little bit more, but we were talking about a little bit before we went on the air here. Mark Martin ran around the bottom of the racetrack in a cup qualifying, qualified 8th. So it's not that you can't run the bottom.
Yeah, the search for that grip has officially began. Norm took the green flag, and these guys for the next 36-7 trucks are going to go out there, and each one of them are going to be looking around the racetrack trying to figure out where that grip's at. No one really knows right now, Rick.
And again, a reminder, we'll have multiple trucks on the racetrack at one time. Norm Benning's out there now. The next truck that will go out will be Derek White. So there will continually be 2 trucks on the racetrack.
And remember that for those of our viewers that watch the Sprint Cup qualifying, you know, maybe almost without exception, the fast lap was on the first lap. Not necessarily going to be like that with these trucks because they don't have the horsepower to get up to speed quite like the Cup cars do, about 200 less horsepower. So some of these trucks may run better on the second lap. So we won't know till the very end who's going to get on the pole.
One guy that was a little bit faster on the second lap in Cup qualifying was Kyle Busch, and that's because he almost hit the wall on his first lap. He regrouped and ran a little bit quicker on lap 2. But the search for that grip feel, like we talked about, there's 3 distinct lines here. You can go down to the bottom and you'll be able to see the guys that choose to do that. There's also the middle top. You know, if you go to the middle, that kind of shades up toward the outside wall. But then there were guys in cup qualifying who went in right next to the wall and stayed there. That's as far up as you can get, and that's a dangerous line, especially the way that wind was whipping around a little bit earlier today. That really causes some havoc.
We'll call that the top.
So we're going to call it the bottom, the middle top, and the top top?
Yes. Top. Well, top.
I'll let you guys worry about what we'll call it. Derek White on the racetrack now, and Derek, in his practice runs, was around 36 flat. Norm Benning was a little slower than that, but Norm Benning picked up about 0.6 of a second from what he practiced to what he qualified. So that might be indicative of what we'll see from some of these trucks that are qualifying early on.
And about 3.5 tenths from lap 1 to lap 2. So Norm did pick up on second lap. Derek is 36.782 on lap number 1. That's about 1.25 seconds slower than what Norm ran on his second lap. Looks like that may be one and done, you think?
Yeah, I hope.
Way down to the bottom of the racetrack for Derek White, and he's slowed down quite a bit as we see Mike Harmon now on the racetrack.
Harmon's choosing the top. What is wrong with you two?
I tried to use a word the other day when we were doing a K&N Pro Series race that wasn't a word, and I about tried to use it again.
Yeah.
Caught yourself there, didn't you?
And Phil, he laughed the first time I used it, and now he's laughing again. So I'm glad we're going to let everybody in on that. Mike Harmon, he is fastest now at 34.260 on his first lap.
Now, that's the top.
That's top.
That's
the
top.
That's way up there. I've been arguing with myself all week over what I was trying to explain to y'all last week about the tires. I'm driving down the road thinking, now there is such a thing as bad new tires that would still be better than good old tires, was my point. Nothing, right? I should just leave it alone, right?
We're going to drop that like I'm trying to get rid of all of the slow words that I say, right?
I'll try to help you guys out a little bit if I can. I want to get you an interview with Tom Hessert. Made your debut at Phoenix last week. That didn't go so well, but what about this week? How's your truck?
Yeah, last weekend was a little tough, but we struggled a little bit last night and unfortunately lost a little bit of practice with the rain coming in. But I think we have a good truck for tonight. Just try to get a good solid starting spot and try to be there all night. And we're just really excited to get going.
All right, he was right in the middle of that great championship battle in the ARCA Series and making his second start in trucks tonight in truck number 77.
You got to buckle in when they throw that green flag, don't you, Phil? These guys get this thing done in a hurry. Multiple trucks on the track. The fastest guys yet to come. All the fast trucks at the end of this session makes for very exciting qualifying. I love this, what the Truck Series has done.
Mike Harmon picked up almost 2 seconds from what he practiced to what he qualified. So a big pickup for Harmon. He has the provisional pole as we see Shane Sieg on the racetrack in the 93.
Shane's only about 1/10 of a second off what Mark Harmon ran on his fast lap. So Shane has a good shot at maybe jumping up to be the 3rd different pole sitter. There's our buddy Hermie Sadler, left side of your screen in the 48 truck.
Hermie always brings a good looking truck to the track, even if he doesn't have a sponsor on it.
I think he has the Hermie and Elliott Sadler Foundation on the hood.
Hermie's best qualifying run this year, 15th at Michigan earlier. Shane Sieg.
Hermie has a couple top 15 finishes in the 5 races that he's run. Just
very competitive.
We keep him pretty busy here on Speed, so he doesn't have a whole lot. There's the Sadler Foundation on the hood of that truck.
Can he pop to the top?
Yes, he did.
Hermie Sadler goes to the top of the chart, 32.966 on lap number 1.
That's 4th different pole sitter, because while we were talking about Hermie, Shane Sieg jumped up to the pole and then Hermie knocked him down. There's Craig Gose. Ray talked about Tom Hessert being involved in that great championship battle in ARCA Racing Series. That's Craig Gose in the Greenville Toyota. He was also involved in that and ended up finishing 2nd.
I'm going to say, if Michael can say top, you can say Toyota.
I'm going to say Toyota. I thought about that when he did.
You see, that's the bottom for Gose, or close to the bottom as you can get.
Bottom middle.
bottom, middle. I guess there's 4 distinct grooves here.
Second lap for Hermie Sadler was just a bit quicker, 32.808. And to the top of the chart goes Craig Ghost now at 32.673.
We're trying to break a record for most different pole sitters in a session. You know, in the Cup Series qualifying, Carl Edwards went out early, and he held the pole for almost the whole session. Finally, near the end, Case Kane bumped him off. But in the trucks, we've already had 4 or 5 different pole sitters, and we're only 5 trucks in. That shows you.
Absolutely. And I think we need to, give a tip of the hat to the NASCAR officials, Wayne Otten and his group, for allowing these guys to have a second practice this morning. This was not on the schedule. This was a jam-packed day today, but yet they made time for these guys to get a second practice session.
How many times have we talked about those guys down there, Wayne and his boys, making calls on the, in real time, deciding, okay, this would be good for the guys. This would be good for our racers, be good for our fans, so our guys have some practice, and they just make calls like that. It seems like week in, week out, just for the betterment of the sport.
Yeah, absolutely. They do such a terrific job.
John King third quick on his first lap, 33.235. Craig Ghost slowed down on his second lap, so the mark everyone's shooting for is 32.673 of the 7 that have been on the racetrack. We'll see if John King can improve upon his first lap and move up from the 3rd spot that he currently holds.
There was about 22, 23 trucks within a second of the very fastest lap set by Johnny Sauter. That's a pretty competitive field here in this practice session.
John King improves on his second lap, but doesn't improve in position. He's 32.853, and that is quick enough for 3rd. Travis Quapple. Yeah, that's right. He won a championship right here at Homestead-Miami Speedway about 7 years ago. Stay with us. Tonight, the biggest party in racing's geared up for the championship showdown at Homestead, and 2 of NASCAR's biggest names, Jeff Burton and Kurt Busch, are joining the fun. Don't miss NASCAR Trackside from Homestead tonight at 10:30 Eastern, only on Speed. It will be above water, though.
That's not Hammond, is it?
I think it is Jeff Hammond that's down underwater there.
You see where they're pointing? They're saying, you got to go that way.
Brian Johnson Jr. in his qualifying effort actually spun coming out of turn number 4.
Watch this. He's up middle top. Now he's going top, as Michael would say. Just loses control of it. Does a great job. Watch him keep staying the throttle to keep that thing out of the outside wall. He's going to have some flat spotted tires there.
Watch how loose he is.
See it wiggle a little bit through that bump?
And he had his foot right on the floorboard too, Phil. And when it starts to wiggling, a lot of things go bad. Generally, it results in a spin, but fortunately, he kept her out of the wall.
He's getting word from the NASCAR officials what he has to do. They're saying he is done, is what we're hearing now.
He was one of the drivers that needed to qualify on time to get in. We have 38 trucks that are shooting for the 36 spots for tonight's race. Brent Raymer now on the racetrack, as well as the 72 of John Jackson. That's Jackson in the left of your screen. Brent Raymer on the right side.
James Carter, the sponsor on that 72 truck.
Raymer was 5th quick, 33.218.
John Jackson, one of the trucks that has to qualify his way in on time. He jumps up to 2nd. That will lock him in. 32.744 his fast lap. That's his 2nd lap, and he is in the field.
What about that lap by Craig Ghost? He picked up almost a 2nd over practice, and he's held that pole spot for the last 4 or 5 trucks. So that's a solid run for that 46 truck.
Red Dunlap, I think you've got a guy that's ready to go out and take on this racetrack.
Absolutely. That would be Travis Quapple, former champion in this series, driving for Rick Ware Racing this weekend. And Travis, I noticed you guys have an old KHI truck. How was it in practice?
It was a little bit too loose, but that might be a good thing. Truck's turning really good, and a lot of times it's hard to get them to turn good. So we just got to keep working on it. We didn't get a whole lot of laps of practice, but just thankful for Rick Ware and have kids embrace safety seats on, car safety seats on our Chevy here. It's cool. So just looking for a good run. It's a good truck, and we got some good guys here. So just hoping to have a good one tonight.
All right, we wish you good luck, and we'll talk a little bit about Travis and that big championship from 03 tonight on the setup. Adam?
Ray, still some question marks on the qualifying situation for Brian Johnson, and Hermie Sadler would like to know the outcome there, because that could dictate whether you're racing or not.
Yeah, well, the most important thing is we worked on that truck a lot today. We've been so loose. I haven't been able to even really make a complete lap all day. We picked up about a 2nd, so Appreciate the guys for all their hard work. But before I get in trouble, I got to wish Naomi, my baby, she's 8 years old today. So I wish her a happy birthday. But, you know, this is a little more than, it used to be fun. This is not fun anymore. But if we can get this thing in the show, we'll see if we can get it dialed in and have some fun tonight.
You don't want to sing together with Naomi, do you?
No.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good, would it? All right, let's go back upstairs. Now Michael may sing to her, huh?
Well, Adam, tell him he's locked in so that he's not worried any longer. He's definitely in the show.
Well, he's worried about Brian Johnson Jr. That's the key for Hermie, is he wants to make sure that they don't allow Brian Johnson to get back out and run another lap, potentially be able to beat Hermie.
You see J.J. Cobb there with her pink truck matched up pretty soon.
Johanna Long jumps up to third on lap number 2 at a 32.764. Good work for Johanna. We're used to seeing her do a nice job, do a solid job qualifying.
First 4 trucks within 1/10 of a second already, Phil. These trucks are very competitive. Speeds are comparable.
Jennifer Jo Cobb on her first lap, 8th quick at 33.660.
How cool is it to see that new sponsorship on her truck?
Great looking truck too.
She put in a solid season, got some backing here at home at Miami Homestead. I know she's very much looking forward to 2011 and racing some more, continuing the dream.
Trying to improve upon her 8th place qualifying mark in her first lap. Again, 33.660 first lap. Second lap as she crosses the stripe. A little quicker, but keeps her in the 8th spot. 33.345. Everyone's still chasing Craig Gose. 32.673 is the mark that Cole Witt will be shooting for, making his first start in the Camping World Truck Series in the 60 truck. Stay with us, more qualifying here on Speed. Welcome back to Ford 200 qualifying from Homestead-Miami Speedway. Now on the racetrack, the 77 of Tom Hessert.
If that looks similar to the paint scheme that's on the Germain truck of Tabodyne, it should, because that's one of their trucks. Tom had a tough break last week, was involved in an accident not of his making in his debut, as Ray was talking about earlier.
Mario Goslin also on the racetrack for his qualifying effort.
Goslin usually has the tire monkey all over that 12 truck. Different sponsorship lately on it, but the tire monkey's still riding around on there somewhere. I saw him earlier today.
Excel Construction on board for Mario. 9th quickest on lap number 1 for Mario, 33.293.
Adam, we want to come down to you quick because Craig Gose is on the pole, but he might not be there for long.
Okay, so let's do this interview quick because you're on the pole as of now. How was the run?
Well, we made improvements over our mock run. We struggled with practice, and of course we got rained out yesterday, so not being able to try some of the changes that we made after that practice kind of hurt, but we helped it out a little bit in practice today, and this, you know, qualifying was an improvement from where we tried it earlier today. So if we can just keep making gains on it, that's all we can ask for and try to have a good run. You know, got to thank Greenville Toyota, Eddie Sharp Racing, and Toyota Triad Motors for having the opportunity. I mean, it's just awesome to be out here. It's nice to be able to get a head start on next season. And, you know, we're all kind of learning on it, and I hope we can just make this thing faster, you know, throughout the night and have it come up with another good run.
And I hate to be the one to tell you this, but Brad Sweet just jumped in front of you for the pole.
Yeah, that's going to happen. There's plenty of them else out there, so it's not how you drive, it's how you arrive.
Sir, good luck.
Thank you.
Is he talking about golf?
Hey guys, when you talk about Toyotas, you got to talk about Mike Skinner. He's been in every Toyota race. And you've won a pole in every full-time season. Tonight's your last shot, Mike. You got any chance at it?
I don't think so, Ray. We've had an awfully tough year this year, but we're grateful that we got International Trucks and Monaco RVs and Toyota's support, Exide Batteries and PC Modern, everybody that's helped us, and help is on its way. David and us, we're working on a lot of stuff, and we're going to compliment Stacy and the rest of this team by getting them some good leadership this winter time. We're going to win races next year.
All right, new crew chief on the way next year for truck number 5.
Did you hear that confidence in Mike Skinner's voice? I know this has been an extremely tough year on him. He's never raced a season where he didn't at least win a pole or a race or something, and disappointing year for him. Jason White goes up to second, just about 2/10 off the time that Brad Sweet ran. Brad ran a really, really fast lap, and Jason got right in behind him.
Yeah, Jason actually slowed down on lap number 2. His first lap was a lap of record. He's one of the few trucks that has slowed down on lap number 2. There's Miguel Paludo, 10th quickest on lap number 1. impressive debut for Miguel when he ran Bristol.
Yeah. And another guy that made his debut there, John King, got a 15th place finish. So you debut at Bristol and come out of there with a couple finishes like these two did, gives you a lot of hope and optimism for racing some more.
If you come out of there with fenders, you've done a pretty good job.
Miguel Paludo out of New Silver, Brazil, one of our international drivers in the field.
Running right down near the bottom of the racetrack. Conversely, you can see where Quapple is. He's got his truck up top. Now he's gone middle top.
Miguel jumps up to 5th. Good job, right, Rick?
Yeah, he has his second lap is faster, which our top 3 right now, their first lap was the fastest. Travis Quapple jumps up there to 3rd quick now at 32.575, and then pretty much the field behind them, their second lap was fastest.
That's amazing, really, because as you mentioned, the top 4, well, Travis has a shot at running better on the second lap, but right now the top 4 fastest on lap number 1, and as you mentioned, every other truck fastest on lap number 2.
We'll see if Quapple changes that statistic as he runs the middle of the racetrack through 3 and 4.
I talked to Rick Ware, owner on that truck, and said Travis is committed to running that truck at Daytona next year and looking to get some sponsorship. Quicker on lap number 2, did not change positions, but it's quicker on lap number 2. Still third, 32.319 for Travis Quapple.
19 trucks have been on the racetrack. Again, we have 38 here. We're halfway through qualifying here on Speed. Stay with us. Coverage of NASCAR Camping World Truck Series qualifying from Homestead is brought to you by Silver Star Ultra Headlights from Sylvania. See farther, see wider, see better. By Stable. When you store, start with Stable. And by Pep Boys. Pep Boys does everything for less. Call 1-800-PEP-BOYS. 39 of Ryan Seek in his qualifying effort. He was 11th quick at 32.831. Coming off the racetrack now, David Mayhew in the number 19 on the track. His first lap 32.454, and that is 4th quick of the trucks that have been on the racetrack. Brad?
Or Adam?
Yeah, I'm Adam, and this is Brad. Brad, a nice qualifying run for you, and I guess that's kind of out of the category of where'd that come from?
Yeah, it's like deja vu. Last week we were kind of in the same place. We didn't unload very good with the Great Clip Chevy, and you know, we worked on it all week, and I spun out early, so it took me a long time to get my confidence back up. You know, this is kind of a trickier mile and a half than all the other mile and a half, so it was it's good for us to come out, and we picked up a 2nd from practice, so you know, we'll see where that ends up, hopefully towards the front.
You do me a favor?
What's that?
Can you just say back to you, Mike?
Back to you, Mike.
That was well done.
I'm Mike, Rick.
I'm Phil.
That's Russell over there.
Yeah,
we got 7 different pole sitters because that cat right there, Taylor Mossam, jumped to the top.
First lap 32.149.
Guys, that's only a 0.5 of a second off the fastest lap anyone turned in practice, which was Johnny Sauter. And what do we have? 16 trucks left?
16 trucks to go. We've got Max Pappas on the racetrack in the left side in the number 9 Geico Tundra. Taylor Malsom's second lap a little bit slower. So his first lap 32.149 is what Max Pappas will be shooting for, but he'll have to do it on his second lap. He goes
close.
second quick on lap number 1 at 32.183.
They already changed motors in that Geico Toyota, so he will have to go to the back of the pack regardless of where he qualifies, but there's a lot at stake. You want to have a good pit position, so you pit in order how you qualify. So Max is trying to get that handled. Great to see. Max will be full-time next year with us here in the Camping World Truck Series with that Geico Toyota.
Looks like it's handling real well. We saw the 25 truck of Taylor Mossam. His truck was nervous in the corners. Max just drove right through there. Is it enough?
Just shy, about a 1/10 and a half slower on lap number 2, so Max will stay second.
You know, we had one pole sitter this year start from the rear. Kyle Busch won the pole at Bristol and then had to start in the back. So no matter where you start, you still got a chance to win.
And by the way, he did.
Yeah,
at Bristol.
Ricky Carmichael strapping in, getting ready for his qualifying effort here at Homestead. Sunday, the championship comes down to Homestead as Hamlin, Johnson, and Harvick settle the tightest chase battle in history. We'll examine how Kevin Harvick has become the face of RCR. NASCAR Race Day built by the Home Depot, live from Homestead, Sunday 9 Eastern, only on Speed. Qualifying continuing from Homestead-Miami Speedway for the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, and right to the top of the charts goes Mike Skinner, 32.131, the 8th different pole sitter. And now we've got Cole Witt on the left side of your screen.
Very impressive nationwide debut last week for Cole Witt at Phoenix. I think he ended up with a top 15 finish. So good that they decided to bring that car back again. It was not originally entered for the nationwide race, and Red Bull decided to bring it back.
That's as sideways as you're going to see, bobbling in the corner, but he hung on to her.
Skinner was a little faster on his second lap, 32.124, and Cole Witt 5th quick on his first lap, 32.229. Now let's go down to Adam Alexander.
And Taylor Malsom currently 2nd, and this is a great head start for you and this race team as you get ready for 2011, I would get.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we struggled in practice today, but Dan and the guys did an awesome job getting ready. He's been busy with the Cup car and our cars. He hasn't been in there to really work on it hard, but, you know, everyone's been working hard to get in shop and stuff like that. So excited with the guys. We should have a good race car tonight. We'll see what happens.
Taylor, of course, referring to Dan Stillman, who will call the shots tonight, right?
Well, let's hear from Matt Crafton. He has just climbed into this bright yellow number 88. Top 10s have been easy, Matt, but how about a victory? You got one in you tonight here at Homestead?
I think we do. I mean, we definitely got a shot. And this Menard Chevy was very, very good in race trim today. We did a mock run, and it was very, very loose. So hopefully they tighten us up a little bit to be able to get this thing qualified a little better. I mean, we've had really good qualifying efforts here lately and had really good trucks and came up a little bit short, but I think we got a shot tonight.
It's been fun to watch these ThorSport trucks. They've been in the top 5 in each of the last 3 races.
Ray Hornaday decided one and done for him, but one was good enough to go to the top of the chart, 32.124.
What about the fact that he's tied with Skinner? That's pretty cool. They ran exactly the same time. We got a pair of 12s on top, a 14, a 16, 18, and a 20. We're talking 32.124 for both of our first 2 trucks. How tight is that?
And you know what that means?
That means Hornaday's got the pole?
No, Top Bodine has the pole. But that's not what I was talking about. That it's going to be a really, really competitive race tonight.
Yeah. We know that when we come to this racetrack because of the multiple grooves. Doesn't matter how your truck's working. You can hunt around generally, Phil, and find you a groove in these turns where you can make some good time.
It may be top, it may be top middle, it may be bottom, maybe bottom middle.
You know, timing, you do some impressive things, but when you were able to say, as he crossed the start-finish line, no, Todd Bodine has the pole. Well, that was pretty impressive.
That just goes to show you all the tools we have to work with up here. Speed gives us everything to sound exactly like we know what we're talking about, but yet sometimes
I screw that up.
We still come up short, Adam.
Justin Lofton on the racetrack now in the number 7. Again, Bodine jumped to the top of the charts. He decides it's one and done for him.
They give us Russell.
And Lofton goes to the top of the charts now and knocks Bodine down. 31.961 on his first lap. That's 11 different pole sitters.
First truck in the 31s, too. 32.09 was the fastest lap we saw in practice. So we're bringing her on down.
We still have 10 trucks to take time here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. David Starr on the left side of your screen.
David in that Zachary Toyota.
From the Department of Redundancy Department, I just want to say thank you, NASCAR, for letting these trucks line up and go at it in reverse order, the slowest to the fastest. This is so much fun, knowing that there's still guys that are faster yet to come.
There's 10 guys that were faster in practice than what have gone so far. David Starr, does he go to the top? No, his first lap, 11th quick, 32.409.
Not a bad effort for David Starr.
That's top.
That's top. I think I like that top. That's growing on me.
Well, there's the reason why is because there's so many different grooves here. You can't just say bottom, middle, top, because I guess there's not really a preferred groove here. Would you think that's fair, Phil?
Absolutely fair. There's Ricky Carmichael. He's top. I'd say there's probably 5 grooves here. You got bottom, you got bottom,
you're
middle,
add
middle.
another one?
You got bottom, middle, top,
and top.
It might be too hard to keep track of. 32.368 for David Starr on his second lap. That's a little faster than his first, but still only 11th quick.
It's disappointing for David. Have such high hopes, being among the 8 or 10 fastest trucks in practice. You think you have a shot at the pole and wind up outside the top 10.
Carmichael is 14th quick on his first lap, and he's running right around the top of this racetrack. Or top.
If they would paint lines on those 5 grooves, then we'd be very similar.
32.686 for Ricky Carmichael on lap number 1.
Looks like Ricky has a truck that washes up as he goes through the corner. Maybe it's a little bit tight. He comes in low and sort of winds up right next to the wall. Not very fast either.
Carmichael slows down on lap number 2, so he is 14th quick of the 30 that have been on the racetrack. Does Kyle Busch have a shot at winning here at Homestead-Miami Speedway? Well, he sure does, and also a shot at the pole. Stay with us. Speed presentation of NASCAR Camping World Truck Series qualifying from Homestead is brought to you by Faster. This Thanksgiving, if you're on his list, you're already dead. Dwayne Johnson in Faster in theaters Wednesday. And by Toyota. That's the Rock, right? That is
Dwayne
the
Johnson.
Rock.
Well, I don't.
Johnson.
Could you keep me off his list,
Yeah,
Rick?
I don't think you want to be on his list.
If you hear anything about me going on that list, will you let me know?
Eric Almirola.
He's on a good list right now. One of the pole sitters so far. We've had 12 of them. He's the most recent.
A new sponsor on that truck this weekend, too.
Right.
51 trucks looking good again.
Adam Alexander.
And we talk about the solid run for Eric Almirola, that misfortune for Justin Lofton. He knocked you off the pole, but still a nice qualifying effort for you and your team.
Yeah, definitely. Real proud of all the guys on the number 7 VisitPit.com Toyota. It's been a roller coaster year for us, and I want to end it on a high note. And you know, if we can start up in the top 5 for tonight's race, I know we've got a truck that can contend for the win.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, that driver and team has speed. They've proved it all year long. Justin, when they don't have any trouble, they've had some mechanical problems, they can finish up in the top 10 with regularity.
We saw James Buescher finishing up his qualifying run. He was 15th quick, 32.513. Now Crafton on the racetrack. He's 3rd quick on lap number 1. And we've seen 4. Well, that's the 4th driver who has their fastest lap on their first lap. We'll see if Crafton is able to pick it up on his 2nd lap. Elliott Sadler also on the racetrack now in the number 2.
Great to welcome a new sponsor to the Camping World Truck Series, City Financial. I think that may be indicative of what we're going to see next year on his nationwide car that he's going to run for KHI and possibly some trucks as well.
Crafton doesn't pick it up on lap number 2. He stays 3rd quick. 3 drivers opted to not run a 2nd lap. Almirola, Bodine, and Hornaday. And right now they're in our top 5. Elliott Sadler goes to the top of the charts, 31.845 on lap 1. And it looks as though that might be one and done for Elliott Sadler. Ray?
Oh, and they weren't sure what to do about air pressure down here. Ron Hornaday, their teammate, went earlier. He told him he was wicked loose. And I talked to Ernie Cope. He said, I'd like to have tightened this thing up a little bit for Elliott, but he said the real bottom line is we're looking for speed. That's why they went 1 lap only. That thing was loose for Elliott, too. Adam?
And Elliott Sadler playing dividends because he was 5/100ths of a second faster than Eric Almirola. Just missed being on top.
Yeah, and you don't know how disappointing that is to come to Homestead here the last race of the year, and I don't think I've ever gotten a truck pole. I've gotten a few in the Nationwide Series, but never in the trucks. So I really wanted a pole. I felt like we had a really good truck. It was just a little bit too loose, and that cost us. But I think that'll pay off for us tonight in the race. Our truck's really good. Thankful for River City Cafe coming on board, and just proud of all these guys at Billy Blue Motorsports. They've been working their guts out.
It's been an amazing year, 2nd in points, and tonight Eric going for his 13th consecutive top 10 finish.
You know, we've heard a couple of guys, the guys that are up top. Elliott Sadler maybe was a little bit loose. It looked loose. Also, Almirola was a little bit loose. We heard him say that, and they're fastest. I think in order to be fast, we could watch Timothy Peters on his run. He was pushing. He got to the corner. His truck wouldn't turn. He's down outside the top 10. I think in order to be fast here at Miami, Phil, you got to be loose.
And maybe James Buescher as well, as Kyle Busch goes to the top of the board. 31.797, the 14th different pole sitter.
We're 1 away from a record-setting performance here, a record-tying performance, and he's 1 and done. Now Austin Dillon on the racetrack. We only have 2 trucks remaining to qualify as Busch decided he would do 1 lap and be done.
By the way, don't we have a tie right now for the most poles this year in the series between Kyle Busch and this young driver right here, Austin Dillon? And there's a pretty big payout at the end of the year for that, the most poles, and right, it could come to this lap right here.
How about 3 teams this year, Phil, have 17 of our 24 poles so far. KHI, Kyle Busch Motorsports, Richard Childress Racing, and Kevin Harvick Incorporated have those poles. Can it be another one for these groups?
Dillon goes to the top of the charts, 31.649 for Austin Dillon.
What a great job by Austin Dillon. But let's don't give it to him yet now. We still have another truck that was the fastest truck in practice, Johnny Sauter, and there he is right there.
We have tied the record for most pole winners. And right now we're going for 16. If Johnny Sauter can back up and be the fastest in this qualifying effort, like he was fastest in practice, we'll have our 16th pole sitter.
There was 45 cup cars. We had 4 pole sitters during the course of the whole session. And now during this one, we've already had 15 different pole sitters. And Johnny Sauter's coming off turn 4, looking to make it number 16.
Will he go faster than 31.649? No, he's third quick. 31.836 on lap number 1. Can he push it a second lap and improve?
Austin Dillon said, get you some of that, Kyle. I want more poles.
How about that? Anytime you do anything more than Kyle, you've done a day's work, that's for sure.
Johnny Sauter staying in the gas, trying to get that extra 0.2 of a second that he would need to take Austin Dillon off the top of the chart. Coming out of 4, does he get it on lap 2? He slows down. So Johnny Sauter goes 31.836. He will start 3rd in tonight's race.
Well, we're stuck on 15, aren't we?
15
Third
is a
time
good
we've had
number.
15 different front setters, pole sitters.
Las Vegas, Phoenix. It's contagious. I'll tell you right now, it's contagious.
Front sitters, I like that though.
Definitely didn't slow down though.
Austin Dillon, fastest in qualifying from Homestead-Miami. The final evening of racing for the Camping World Truck Series, and the field is now set as the Ford 200 qualifying is just wrapped up. 13th pole for Chevrolet this year. That's the most. Chevys have been quickest in qualifying. Austin Dillon and Kyle Busch making up our Dodge Ram front row. And Austin Dillon is standing by with Adam.
What a rookie season. 7 poles, couple of wins, top 5 in points. This is a nice way to finish out the year, huh?
It is. You know, I was really happy to get lock up that Ray Bess's Rookie of the Year last week, and just so proud of these guys. They've done a great job all season, and it's cool to go out and get poles, but we need those wins. You know, that's what we're focused on for next year, and hopefully this right here will lead us into next year. And the truck was great. I was a little loose coming out of 3 and 4. You know, I really had to wheel it. I wanted this one because we were tied with Kyle for poles, so I kind of had to get up on the wheel, I guess. I don't think I lifted through 1 and 2, just barely cracked it. So had a lot of fun. Got to thank Bass Pro Shops for an amazing year, and can't wait till next year.
Lucky number 7 for Austin Dillon coming in the season finale.
Take a look at our starting grid. Austin Dillon, Kyle Busch making up row number 1. Those 2 guys who had the most poles this year.
Boy, a lot of great competitors here, all stacked up front here. You see Mike Skinner on Hornaday back in row number 5. Cole Witt making his debut back in row number 6.
Man, out of those first 4 rows, I can't pick a favorite. Any one of those trucks could definitely go to victory lane tonight for sure. It could be an interesting race here.
Former champion Travis Quapple back in the field for the final race of 2010. Spencer makes up the 36th position. Coming up next, it'll be NASCAR Live. Well, you saw from qualifying, we've got multiple grooves here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Make sure to join us at 7:30. Chris Boda with the setup.